All right, welcome back to the Romans Forward 2's radio show on Facebook Live at Romans Forward 2 Footstep page, on Instagram Live, Levon1021. My guest is here. She's an author and entrepreneur. She's a client of Guideline Girls, led by Kala Shireen, who I know very, very well. So let's welcome Miss Lynn Denise. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah, you reached out to me, so you want to be the guest on my show. So, and you know about Kala so well. So, how was your week?
It was great. I can't complain. I'm grateful that I've escaped another week of Corona.
Amen. Amen to that.
And thankful that I woke up because some people didn't.
Amen. That's what I spoke about earlier. God be grateful despite what we're going through right now. God's so blessing us. God's keeping us. He provides for us, protects us. You know, so I'm going to read a little bit about Lynn Denise, who she is. So then she go in more details about how all this happened. So Lynn is a mother, entrepreneur, author, and visual artist. She is the founder of Maverick 6 Business Management, which caters towards small business owners looking to grow, market, and brand their businesses. She is also the founder and CEO of On-Demand Resourcing. Her organization provides training to support individuals interested in empowering themselves through the professional development and continued education. She will release her first book soon, titled Dark Past and Bright Future, in the next month. Lynn also believes that the best way to navigate through life is to stay true to oneself, self-care, and protect your mental health. So that's a little more about Lynn Denise and who she is. Entrepreneur, author, everything, pretty much really do well. So, can you tell us about who was Lynn Denise growing up?
I think I was very creative, inquisitive, always wanting more out of life.
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't too many things that I have not achieved or anything like I put my mind to growing up. I was put in mentally gifted. And I think too, there's a sense of once you can achieve many things, you get bored easily.
Right.
So that's always been a thing. But I've always been an active child. I could thank my family for always just keeping me in something, whether it was ROTC, whether it was a camp, whether it was just keeping my mind busy and sharp. Just stay on my feet, and I think that that's helped me navigate through life to prepare me for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not nothing that I can't do or ready to do, and I think it's helped my work ethic. Anything I do, I give 120%. Sometimes that could be a little difficult because you could be hard on yourself.
Right, true.
When things don't always go as you plan.
Right. But that's why we got to adjust to it, so, and be flexible and be to go over the punches, and feel flexible. So, your friend, I think Marlene DeVos just joined us. So, I'm answer a question. One of my friends, told me that we heard went to the same high school. So I wanted to know if this is true. Did you go to Washburn High School?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, it's funny because I went there. I went to Rossboro.
Yeah.
So I went to Rossboro. I graduated in 2000. So
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So I went. So what year you graduated?
2007.
Okay. Okay. So you probably know who asked. Someone asked is Fatima Smith.
Yeah.
So with the Rossboro together. So what made you start the Maverick Business Management Company? Where did you start? What was the reason for you starting that?
Okay, so when I was in college, I've always had probably a passion for business.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I walk in a business, there's a certain thing that comes to me. Even before you order, you going in, you looking at the business, how it's structured, what it takes. Customer service, how are you treated, the whole entire customer experience, which you can really appreciate because there are so many businesses who may lack that or do not have that or just don't have the wherewithal to provide their customers with exactly what they're looking for.
Right.
where the experience is memorable, which would make them come back. So for me, I believe that when you have like customer service that's not the best or greatest or operations, that it's a management thing, and systems. So I've always wanted to kind of take that on and feel like that I could help people perfect that, because that's your money maker. When people come in, that could either make or break you. So, but about how I got to Maverick 6, which made me started. So I was working at SEPTA, and when I was working there, I was a regional rail conductor, assistant conductor. So you have to go to class for almost a year.
Wow.
And so I was in there, I was in the class, and I had been dreading probably going to class, because there's a thing of when you start, you know that you won't be able to keep your job if you don't pass. And so I'm one of them people that feel like, that if something's for you, it's for you.
Right.
If a door closed, it closed for a reason. So I stand on that. So I went to class, things were going well, and I was in a relationship that probably wasn't the best for me. So I kind of just put it on the back burner while I was in class. And so as I'm going through class, I got to about my 13th line, because you have to learn like the entire railroad and give it back, basically look at it, give it back to them in that process. So I was going through the whole thing, and I got to my 13th line and I didn't pass. And so again, like I said, I always think of next step thinking. So that same day I applied and put a transfer in to be on the bus. So when I did that, I still had to wait a little bit. And so at this time I didn't have a business yet. So I'm waiting, making money the way I know how, different jobs, little odds and ends. And so I actually walked past a business, and he had a sign up, and it said something about that he was like having spring special. So I asked him, I said, "Are y'all busy?" And he was like, "No, not as busy as we would like to be." And I was like, "Well, why?" I was asking him, like, "Well, why? Like, why are y'all not busy?" And he was like, "Oh, because, the lack of help from my wife. I would like her to be more an essential part of the business, but it's not her interest." And so I was like, "Well, I could turn your business around in 30 days. And so he was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And so he was like, "All right, I'll give you a shot." So I was like, he was like, "When can you come?" I was like, "Wednesday." So, we were talking about it. I called him Tuesday. I was like, "This just to confirm, I'll come." So he had like just a shell of a business. Like, he had been in business for 25 years, but he wasn't using the office. So I did come do that, started ordering all the stuff, and I just really started the system process there. But I didn't have the business yet.
Right.
I was just taking on, clients as training. And so while I was there, just seeing how I was working the system and setting up a system for them, I started it. I just went for it. I was like, I'll see what happens after work, but I started the business and just went from there. And from then on, I just kind of like put the things in place that I needed to, networking with a lot of people, whether it be clients, consulting, and things like that. So, I know a lot of people. And I, like I said, just kind of took off from there and just led in other directions.
Right. Yeah, that's how most businesses start, actually, by providing service first, even before you get the name of business. Like, that's how most businesses start, because like that's how Paddock Grant started, because I just did workshops, and there was no business titles, it was the empowerment workshops, and I saw the value the kids were getting from them, and then now it turned to the business, because you was getting results first, then you actually get name behind it, then it started circulating about what we were doing. So that's a powerful story, because because you use your gift, you took a chance on my faith, and just the work led to what you're doing now. So what led you to? So was that the lead on to The on-demand resourcing, or that was,
Yes.
okay.
So that's how I got there.
Oh.
So in the midst of, like I said, the business, I saw that there was another need, which is resources. Now,
Right.
there are several businesses and organizations that provide resources. But one thing that I saw was an issue is that a lot of times when you go to these businesses, people want to legitimize themselves and get funding. So one of the things that people tell you about funding is that you need to get with the state or the government.
Right.
Okay, so once you do that, now you're adding a barrier for people.
Wow.
And people don't understand that part. People want resources without any red tape. So if you say, okay, you want to start working. If I need a job today, I don't have 4 weeks to go through your program. In order for you to be able to get the funding you need, because you got to show them some paper trail, which is fine. But I feel like even with jobs, you apply. Some jobs are a lot more simpler. You apply online, they call you, go to an interview, but they're not putting anything in between. Like when you go to a job program or job training program,
right,
where they have you come and you got to meet with a person, and we got to fit you in our schedule, and after that, there are a lot of things that happen in that time frame that may be deterrents or life's going on. So now I need something, and I'm trying to do it the right way by legitimizing, the legitimate money rather than going to the streets. So I just wanted to be able to provide people with training, just with no red tape and resources. That if I am able to provide it to you or help you in any kind of way, without it being a fee or a catch to it. Because just because you give me the training, I still don't have a job.
Right, that's true.
And then they're teaching you how to do it, but are they walking you through it?
Showing the steps.
There's a difference between me telling you this is this is how you make. Okay, a recipe tells you how to do it, right? But a cooking show shows you how to do it. So I believe that's the difference between the two. That are you going to be a recipe book or are you going to be a cooking show?
Right.
I don't know if that's the best analogy, but
it makes sense. It makes sense because you want some people who don't talk about it, but they show you the steps how to do it. Not just talk to you about it, show you a recipe, they actually show you how to do it, show you the process of that.
Yes, yes, and then like I said, it may not be free. For some, it comes at a cost. As your worth.
Right.
You have the knowledge that people need, but to kind of evaluate how effective those steps people are taking. Yeah. How effective are they? How many people have gotten jobs from your program?
Right.
A lot of people don't do enough data analysis to see if what they're doing works.
And if it's not working, they don't take the time to analyze it or reorganize it how to make it work better for their clients, so they get more value from it, So a lot of times we do that. Because I like that on-demand resource because sometimes like a lot of resources out here, but they don't tell you like you just said. They don't show you. They don't talk about it. They don't do the one and the other. They talk to you about it. They don't show you, or they show you. Don't talk about it. So it's very important that you have the right resources and show them how to navigate through that 8th step, because there's a lot of stuff out there they don't tell you actually once you sign up. Like you apply for a job, for example, they go through training, but they don't tell you to get clearances. You gotta get clearances, you gotta get physical. I'm like, what? They ask for an appointment, you know what I mean? So they don't tell you that from the get-go, you know what I mean? So.
And the other thing that I shared are what are the steps before you do that? There are steps I believe that you must take before you even get a job. Whether that be getting your mind right.
Yes.
Because people tell, even with business, people tell you, go get it, go become an entrepreneur. But what if everybody, number one, is not going to be able to do that?
Right.
What if my mind is not right? You can push people and tell them it's going to be easy, but they don't tell you the other side.
They don't tell you the other stuff.
Of the same time that you're putting in a job, that you'll be putting in the same exhaustion comes with that.
Right.
Making sure you have important documents. Most people don't want to go get them until it's time for the job or they told you to go get it. Oh, now you're trying to go get your birth certificate the day before the interview. You're trying to find your social security card. Oh, I knew I had it somewhere, but I don't know what it is. So those are reasons I feel like that people should not be not getting a job because of things you should have been doing.
From the get-go.
From that up until that point.
Right.
You don't wait until the last minute. You don't try on your suit the day of.
The day of, right.
They figure out that I can't fit in.
That's true. Yeah, so plus, like you said about the business, like you gotta mentally right. You gotta, because a lot of times, like we got also be entrepreneur, you gotta figure out why you doing it. Because you got, okay, why I'm doing this? Why you, God, why you call me to do this? Because I think entrepreneurs are being called by God. I think sometimes people take it the wrong way. If people do it for the wrong reasons, they don't do it for the purpose of what God called them to do. So, you know.
I agree with that. I mean, you definitely have to remember why you're doing it.
The
because
why.
that's the part that's going to carry you through.
Yep.
Now, today, I think a lot of people are doing these, like, get rich quick schemes or watching through social media other people, how they make money. So you figure, okay, people have boutiques, or they're selling lashes, or they're doing this, they're selling cars. It's working for them, but it may not work for you because if that's not, I don't want to say your passion or your gift or something that you wouldn't mind doing for free, it's not going to come as natural.
Right.
And with anything, you need to do your research. It's not that you can't do something somebody else is doing, but do your research.
Absolutely.
Is there really money in it?
Right.
Is there really any, and then what next step thinking are you going to take to go off of that? Because if they're doing it, right? What are you going to do? It's like when you go in the store and you see potato chips, right? If somebody came out with a potato chip today, right? Then you have to understand that they're going to, when you go in the store, it's like 50 potato chips, right? So they all said, hey, everybody love them, but somebody had baked, somebody had fried, somebody had hot. There's different things for why they did it. So the point I'm getting at is you have to understand why you're doing it. Do the research on why there is a need for your type of product, service, and who the target market is.
Target market.
Just keep people as general, very general with it. So you got to find out who you're servicing.
And what they will gain from it, while your services, how this could impact them going forward. You know, like it may not come all together for that one instance, but down the line, they might remember what you said to them, or how you made that person feel afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think
that's what keeps them coming back. That's the word.
How you made it feel. How you made you feel. How you made you feel about them. How you made them feel welcome, or made them feel safe, made them feel appreciated. You know, for supporting your business or your brand. I think a lot of times, a lot of business you see out there is more business pop up more during a pandemic than I haven't seen before. A lot of people are trying to do it for just to get rich, you know, do it for the wrong reasons, but also think about that why you doing it, what keeps you going when things are not going well, when people are leaving left and right, the business is not going where you want it. Keep that why that for you going, because if you decide to give up, you're going to affect someone that you may not direct contact with, or someone that you know. You may affect that person, you know, because you can't give up what God's called you to do.
Oh, yes, I agree. Now, about the businesses in the pandemic, I don't think it's a bad thing. They give out funding. It depends on what you've done with it. One thing I will say is that, too, I think the businesses were needed right now for sure because the unemployment rate went up higher. So, no job is guaranteed.
That's true.
Unless you're the owner, and as you can see now, you got something that changed the world internationally all over. So now even people are losing their businesses. But the point I'm getting at is that you have to have these next step or plan B. You going to work every day and you working for the check you get is not it.
Right.
All the time. Because if they did fire you, now you're trying to figure out what to do. And you may not be a saver, so you may not be able to do that. Some jobs don't pay you enough to be able to save. And then depending on your lifestyle, depending on how you live, do you live out of your means? There's a lot of people that rely on overtime. Because of overtime, you can't function.
True.
So it's just about how you set your life up. I mean, one thing or a lesson I hope that people have learned now is to have a plan B in case another pandemic happens.
Right, how to strategize.
Fall back on it, and ultimately multiple streams of income is really what it is.
Yeah.
one income ain't it.
Not anymore.
You gotta do it, and whether that may be selling stuff out your basement, whether that be selling cars, or we all got something that we have, and you gotta remember what your abilities were before you started these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Some people were DJs. I'm a chef. We always forget those things, especially when people lose jobs. You got skills.
You gotta go back to what you got to that point. How'd you got to that point?
How'd you get there?
Right.
All the things we love or hobbies are still ways to make money.
True. Very true. So this is very great information for you. Thank you so much for sharing that. You gotta have backup plan. You gotta have backup plan, but also exit strategy. How to do it and do it correctly. How to exit correctly. So now you are planning to have your first book out called The Dark Past and Bright Future. So can you give us a synopsis of why you wanted to come out with a book and what that book would be about?
Okay, so for as far back as I can remember, I've always been a writer.
Okay.
Probably like 5, as early as that. Like I have a memory of being in my great grandma's house, my grandma Florence house, and up there with my aunt, and writing. She had this like 3rd floor house. The house had 3 floors. So I remember being up there writing little notes, little stories and things like that. And so over the years, like I've always like wrote poetry and performed spoken word and just writing. So like one year, like I just wrote like a short story, and I was like, oh, what if I just wrote a little short story? So the book came about because I was working at the VA hospital, probably a little after SUPTA. And I had a story before that, but I never did anything with it for like 2 years. So I sat on it. And when I was there, after just doing more research on trauma, experiencing my own, and really identifying exactly what it is. I think everybody experiences trauma, but identifying what it is another thing. And some people don't recognize that what happened to you, whether it be good, whether bad, is trauma.
True.
It is life changing.
Yes.
And so I just kind of wanted to shed light on that, and that's where the title came from: Dark Past, Bright Future. Everybody has some form of dark past. They can always share it, and you hope that when you put the past and tuck it away, that it never finds you again. But for some, it does. And it's not usually you, channeling or bringing it back up. Maybe other people, or something triggered that trauma for you. And that's where I think, like I said, now you're identifying. It's not until you go to the therapist that they're like, hey, you're experiencing trauma. And I think that that's really like where a lot of this gun violence is coming from right now. Trauma, untreated trauma that people didn't heal. Whether it be poverty. Because some people, and then people don't use that as a stepping stone or inspiration for why they're doing it. Like, if you want to be wealthy, you might have probably been poor. So your goal for you or achievement for you is to never be poor again.
Right.
Or if you were a victim of domestic violence, you may be an advocate for that now.
That's right. Yeah.
Or child molestation or things like that. So, again, you have to know why you're doing it. But I believe that if you have faith, that you can see your way through any of your trauma.
Right. Amen. So, 3 more questions. So, first one, how did you get in contact with Kala Serene of God and Girls? How did that connection work?
Well, actually, I was through social media. I was scrolling through social media, and I saw that Saudia from Country Cooking was a client.
Okay.
And so I went, because I wanted to see who wrote who played a hand in the book.
Yeah.
So I went to do my research. I found out it was Collide. So I went to go to do Guideline Girls. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I just want to know, what does it take? What's your process? And after that, she explained everything to me. She was like, you want to move forward? And it took off from there. And we developed a very good relationship. She welcomed me, a teacher to me, a mentor to me. In so little time. And kind of took me under her wing. I also had the opportunity to work for as well
Okay.
on a project. But just welcoming and just
Yeah.
the spirit. You know, I
Yeah.
believe that things happen for a reason.
That's right.
So I believe that I was led to her.
Right. So you probably know her, Sherelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met to her. I don't know how I met to her. I think it was some of social media. I think, and she does an event called she did an event speaking about things about the recipe for success. I've been everyone. Last year I spoke with everyone. So me, her, and connection. She was on this radio show. Did the Artist Cafe with me that she's gonna be doing in March. So she's an awesome person. She's an awesome woman. You know, awesome woman in God, and very proud of her that she worked with you, worked with me. You know, and now you're here. So two more questions. I wanted you mentioned talk about self-care and how do you self-care when you're not entrepreneur, artist, because you do a lot. So what does self-care look like for you?
First and foremost, probably speaking to God.
Okay.
And I know a lot of times people don't associate that with self-care, but that's one of the ways I stay grounded. And I believe that self-care has a deeper meaning. A lot of times, people say grooming or things like that.
True.
Meditation. But I mean, for me, all of that, my spirituality is self-care. Because I think that just protecting your mental health and things like that are self-care. Because when something's not good for you, I know for me, if something's not good for me, I have to remove myself because it just creates things in the long run. If I'm not feeling like myself, people notice.
Right.
Like for me, I'm a person that always is laughing, smiling, no matter what.
Right.
So if somebody probably sees that I'm not, then they may know something is up.
Yeah.
But just self-care as far as like hair, of course, makeup, and just too being around family and having healthy conversations. Like if the conversation not going, I don't like small talk.
Right.
So I feel like if you're not getting to where you need to be, that could be an annoyance more than it's healthy for me.
Gotcha. Okay. And two more. Last one is last week was Thanksgiving, and last week I did a show about ask people what they are thankful for. So I believe Thanksgiving is every day of the year. So what is Lynn Denise thankful for?
I'm thankful for my relationship with God. That I have faith. My daughter, because that's my drive. Unfortunately, this is splitting. She's a splitting image of me, not just physically. And my relationship with her. That because I know I work a lot and things like that, or in the past have.
Right.
And regardless of that, her love hasn't changed. For me, I'm thankful for my support system, because without my support system, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I've done in the past and still doing. I only have one kid, so I feel like if I had more, my mom has had this joke. It's like, you have more, Mom. I'm like, no, she's not. Which I agree. I don't have enough any more support system room outside of what I'm doing right now.
Gotcha.
So definitely family and my gifts. God gifted me or allowing me to be able to do anything I put my mind to.
That's right.
And to help others.
That's good. And so last question, last question. Where people can find you, so get more information about you, your services, your businesses, where people can find you at?
Okay, so the book, you can purchase the book or pre-order the book on kissbyredpublishing.com.
What's called?
And that is www.kiss, Kiss, by redpublishing.com.
Okay.
And my business website for Maverick 6 Business Management is Maverick, MAVERICKSIX.com.
Okay.
And you can find that on Facebook as well, Maverick Six Business Management, and on Instagram as well. On-demand resourcing is there is a page on the website on Maverick Six to be able to access.
Oh, it's like a link. Oh,
Yes,
oh.
it's a link there.
Okay.
But if you're going to follow them on social media, it would be @on_demand_resourcing. And my personal page is Miss MS _Lynn _Denise.
All right. So basically, I was writing it down so I can put it out there and share it with people, support you, because and then we got to support one another, and I feel that you're doing a great work in the community, in the city. It's been an honor for you to be my guest on my show. It's a knowledge of what you experienced because someone that's watching can be inspired, keep moving forward. If she can do it, why not me? So it's about sharing and sharing your truth and sharing your transparency with us. I appreciate that so much. So I'm definitely going to see you soon. Owen's Cafe in March.
So I'll be there.
Yeah, so we're not sure it's going to be in person or be virtual because of the pandemic. We're not even sure right now, but hopefully it'll be in person. There's a person going to be in the Weird Corner Cafe at 29th Girard. Hopefully, if not, we'll be on Zoom. So make sure that we can do some. We're gonna find out hopefully by February what it's gonna look like. So
okay,
because again, we're not even sure right now. So we're just trying to.
Oh no, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
and
yes.
Collide for
Yes.
referring me to you. And if you're watching on here, I will share the video, and the full video will be uploaded as well, and I'll put it on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be safe out here. Wear your mask. Be safe. Be mindful. Self-care. Protect your mental health. Like Lynn said, protect your mental health. Laura will be back on here next Saturday with our guest, Raphael Brown. She'll be our guest next Saturday for the Road Story to Experience Radio Show. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a blessed week. Have a positive mindset, and knowing that God's with us. He'll not leave us nor forsake you. Thank you for joining us.